You said, I don't know if it was for Patreon or regular, that after doing psychedelics, you feel like the universe has your back, right? That's fair? Mm-hmm. My question is that unique to you, or do you think the universe has everyone's back?
Do I think that it has everyone's back? I don't know.
Okay.
So you
have a strong sense that the universe will take care of you, right? You cannot make bad decisions. Everything will work out. Well,
it's a little bit more nuanced, but I think that's, if you wanted to say it shortly, yes. Not that I cannot make bad decisions, and not that it's kind of what we talk about with charisma. Everything's going to be okay. Does that mean everybody's going to like you? No. No. Does that mean you're not going to fall on your face and break your nose? No, but it's all going to be okay.
Yeah. Does that include the fact that even if one were to die horribly, that's okay because they just become part of the universe? Or I
had two things that I got from me.
Okay.
One is this, like, yeah, even if you died horribly, it would be okay. Like, which is like, oh, so you could tell me literally nothing about my life. Like, it's still the same question mark grab bag that it's always been, with a different perspective, like, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. I also had a sense, which I'm not certain of, I was like, but you picked a good one. Like, you picked a good ride this time around. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be any suffering in it, but I got a sense that, like, man, I picked a good one.
Okay, so it is you specific in some regard. Yeah. Okay, that was my question, because as I walked away from it, I was thinking that is a nice thought to have, that the universe has your back. That's a great psychedelic takeaway. And then I was thinking, it reminded me a bit of, then how do you explain atrocity? Like the same argument against having a benevolent, all-powerful, all-knowing God, which is why does a kid die of AIDS at 2 years old?
So I'll give you if I had to, which is...
Well, it sounds like what you're saying is like, everyone's going to be okay because no matter what, you return to universal consciousness. Yes. But also, I specifically Charlie Hooper.
Yeah.
If all of our souls picked ahead of time what level of difficulty we were going to play on,
I picked a good one.
I picked easy.
Yeah.
So you have a very unique to you sense that it's all going to be okay.
Correct.
That doesn't have to describe
the extreme suffering.
Horrible things happen to other people. Got it. Okay. I was just curious. Mm-hmm. So it's very you specific.
It's both. It's a sense that, wow, it's all okay. Everything is okay. Even the suffering is okay, even though it's difficult.
But you don't fear suffering because you think you've got the universe is going to like slot you into a less suffering roller coaster.
Not that it's going to be less suffering, but that there will be learnings in it that I wanted. Like, I had a sense on psychedelics of, and I think this is a semi-common experience, of having chosen my experience ahead of time in some way. And also like a little of like, you picked a good one. Now that doesn't mean that there's not going to be immense suffering, but it's almost like when the sun sets on my life and I look at the sunset on my last day, I'm going to go, damn, what a ride. Mm-hmm. Like that's the feeling. And not that like horrible shit might not happen in between, but it's going to come together by the end was the sense that I had.
And so I'm just curious about your personal theology. When you say that there's universal consciousness and then it splits off into being an individual, that is for just the experience, right? You're not supposed to learn lessons and bring them back to universal consciousness, right? You're just meant to go have the experience of living as Charlie Hooper, because it's to be infinite universal consciousness. Just get some spice, go be Charlie Hooper for a little bit.
I don't know. I actually don't people have theologies that my experience fits nicely into. Mm-hmm. But if I'm speaking about just my experience, it doesn't have an ideology or a universal explanation to it. Like, it was just the limits of what I experienced firsthand are not as broad as, oh, it's all source, it's all universal consciousness. It was just like, no, it's all okay. Everything is okay. It's all perfect. And you picked a good one.
You picked this ride ahead of time. You existed prior to Charlie Hooper. Selected a ride that is the life of Charlie Hooper. Mm-hmm. And are under the impression that what you picked is a largely fun ride.
I would not say fun. I would say beautiful is perhaps the word, okay. which does not exclude suffering and tragedy. But I have a sense that I could be wrong, that I am not going to die with like, why have you forsaken me on my lips? You know what I mean? Like, that I will die going, I get it. Like that's kind of the sense. And I think totally reasonable to expect that there's going to be periods of like, you have forsaken me. Like how could you have done this to me? How could you have taken the person that I love? How, like, this is meaningless, empty. And through that journey, it will make sense by the end.
Okay. That was all. So it is not necessarily to say that every person on the planet, the universe has their back in the same way.
No,
the universe has everyone's back to a varying degree.
To a degree that felt willful, almost. You know what I mean? For me, and I don't know if anybody else, or I'll come be everybody else, or I'll become be every object. Those are beliefs that other people have. Is, you know, you will just continue to exist as every possible existence infinitely till the end of time, and you'll do it all. That wasn't my experience, but my experience could be explained with that worldview. I just feel more comfortable in this go around, basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think so. Which we don't have to dive into, but the question I think people would have is why then do some people have such tough goes of it if they had to select ahead of time?
Well, I think in that space of, I mean, I can only say, like, I play not Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I played Total War Three Kingdoms. I also played Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And eventually you pick hard mode legendary after you beat it on easy, because you realize it's temporary and finite in a way that you are not. And you pick crazy shit just for the experience of it. So I don't know if video games are a fair analogy. Yeah, but when you're the infinite selecting finite experiences, you might choose some weird shit, you know? Literally anything imaginable.
Yeah. I don't think that's impossible. I think it's probably dissatisfying to certain people that are going through tough times.
Oh, it's not meant to make anybody feel better.
Right.
And
I think being told that they picked it ahead of time might piss some people off. But that's not a counter.
I actually don't think that they did. I just know that I felt like I did. I don't have a worldview that I think is true. I just have the experiences that I had.
Well, given that it's all simulation, which is my theology,
which is
maybe
not.
You picked your life, which was I'll be this guy who has no suffering, and then the AI was like, okay, well, I'll think I'm conscious, but my life will be really hard because I didn't get to pick it because I'm AI.
Because I'm supporting cast.
So I didn't get to opt into this. I was created. I think I'm conscious.
Yeah.
This sucks. Yeah. Which is also possible.
Yeah. And I definitely didn't walk away being like, oh, this is good news for other people.
Yeah.
I didn't be like, oh, you should tell everyone. It's going to make them feel good. Like, that definitely was not in there. It was just my... you would ask like something that... There's a JFK line, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. I think there's suffering, and then there's the fear of suffering. Mm-hmm. And what I would say I got a sense of is you can relax on the fear. The suffering may or may not come, but like the terror about it is no longer as necessary. So yeah, there still might be like a tremendous amount of suffering for all that I know.
No, I was just thinking because you said the universe has my back, and I think a lot of people don't feel that way. Mm-hmm. But your takeaway is maybe it has your back to a lesser degree.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes. And here's the thing. It's all perfect. It's all this, but like that's up here, or even you could say down here, and whatever the thing is, like everything is perfect as it is. War, rape, disease, famine, like it's all perfect and beautiful. Okay, but that's deeply unsatisfying to those who are experiencing those horrible things.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel it.
It doesn't feel perfect, right? So then there's the level of like, what is pleasing to me as a human? And I was like, oh, I got a pretty good one on that level as well. So I'm cool down here. We're all cool down here. It's all perfect down here. But I also
got it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I was just curious. You said it, and I walked away, and I was thinking about it.
Yes.
So I just wanted to ask you about it.
I'm mostly cool, but I could be wrong. You know, I don't know. That's just this. That was just the experience that I had, which many people would assume was just a figment of my imagination, and you know, like a mirage in the desert, not corresponding to anything true, just an idea.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.